Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Engineer, no? Yes, Engineer
yes,
Grande.
Madam Chair.
Opo.
So first, I'd like to update this committee, ma'am, on what we're doing to address this concern on the fraudulent registration. So it appears marami nga pong sources.
Opo.
And we really need to cleanse the PSA database also from the source, no? And including the PSA CRS database. So we've been conducting investigations to these reported fraudulent birth certificates of foreign nationals based on the reports that we received from the DFA. We have the regular back channeling, the NBI, and the Bureau of Immigration. And as of October, we have already blocked 720 birth certificates, civil registry documents, of which we have 1,627 pertaining to birth certificate of foreign nationals. And 1,464 of these have been records have been endorsed to OSG for the filing of the petition for cancellation. So yung isa na case nga po dito na na-file na namin with OSG to yung cancellation ng birth certificate ng former Mayor Alice Go. So that's one of the immediate actions that we did. And currently we're having a data sharing with DFA, NBI, and BI for those records that we have been blocking. No? After the conduct of the fact-finding investigation, we report to them, these are the names of these fraudulent records of these foreign nationals. So we continue to strengthen internal and external processes. And in fact, we've been doing not only fact-finding investigations with the local civil registrars, but we are doing also audit in our CRS outlets to strengthen, of course, our procedures also. And most importantly, we have amended delayed registration processes of birth, stricter protocols, and additional mandatory requirements were needed to ensure that the true fact and identity of the person is established prior to its registration. But of course, there are marginalized sectors that will be affected. So we have retained this birth registration assistance program for the indigenous people, Muslim, and those marginalized sectors. So as our way forward, we also do some data analytics based on the information that we got from the registered births from 2010 to 2024. There are 14.89 million that have been registered under these delayed registration schemes. And based on some parameters that we got based on these fact-finding investigations that we've done, there is an estimated 50,000 suspected fraudulent cases which are relayed to our field offices to conduct audits to our local civil registry offices. And this is ongoing, Madam, right now. So we will be updating the committee once we have this reports coming from our PSA field offices. But I'm glad you mentioned, ma'am, what is required to improve our processes. So we're currently pushing for the amendment of Act 3753. This is the law to establish a civil register. There's really need to amend it. It's a 1930 law. There have been a lot of changes and several laws pertaining to civil registration, and we have this proposal for a comprehensive CRBS omnibus bill. We would like to discuss with the committee for some proposal to include one, digitalization. We need one source of truth data linking a system coming from hospitals, because these are the one registering, preparing the birth, the death, a hospital, the local civil registry offices, and the PSA. So there's a digitalization project, and we hope that the government would support the funding for that. And of course, ma'am, we will continue to be coordinating with the other government agencies, this is actually we need the support of each of the government agencies. And also NICA, we've been coordinating also with them regarding this matter. So yun po yun, ma'am, ang updates from the PSA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much also, Engineer Marisa. Sabi nyo you have identified 1,000 plus irregular or spurious birth certificates and recommended some of them to the OSG. Earlier, meron din kayong you've blocked 700 plus birth certificates, but 1,000 plus in total, and recommended some of them to the Office of the Solgen for cancellation. Pero sabi nyo rin po, meron kayong mga 50,000 plus suspected fraudulent. So ano pong time frame para ma-vet talaga the 49,000 plus or so na balanse?
Right now, ma'am, we have the NS, the head of the agency has already ordered our PSA field offices, and the audits is ongoing because there's a lot of documents. They have to start from 2010, as I've mentioned, and we will be providing updates on this, ma'am, because some of them we have received some updates, including those that were coordinated to us through the Senate and the Congress, the list that were provided to us. These are ongoing investigation and with the aim to cleanse also the PSA's database.
Salamat po. Baka may sense of urgency din ito during this transition sa pag-wind down ng POGOs hanggang deadline December 31. At the same time, yung just transition para sa mga nagtrabaho doon. Lalo na kung given yung statements ng iba nating resource persons na widespread nga yung POGOs, mukhang widespread din yung mga espionage-related activities na kasi hinahabi together yung economic activities ng POGO but also possibly criminal activities and possibly nga espionage. How long did it take you po to process the 1,000 plus birth certificates na na-deem spurious, kalaunan?
Well, I actually, ma'am, to be frank, this study was initiated by our head, NS MAPA. So based on the 2010 to 2024, since all of these are in our database, and then it took us a while to come up with this data analytics, and this will be used for audits by our PSA field offices with the local CB registrars.
So na-process yung 1,000 plus na yon in the past several months, tama po ba? The parameters used, for example, ma'am, during the investigation, we've come up with some obvious factors that undergone delayed registration. For example, a hilot. Yeah, so using that parameter and the delayed registration and the use of one of the parent is a foreigner. So these are the parameters used, and we use the 2010 to 2024 birth statistics data to come up with these statistics. The suspected 50,000 fraudulent birth delayed registrations. Pero if I'm going to estimate na na-process niyo yung 1,000 plus na ito in the past several months, hindi naman naabot ng 24 and a half years para maproseso yung balanse pa ng 50,000? Is there a time frame, like kakayanin nyo ba within, I doubt matatapos nyo by December 31, pero kakayanin ba within a year or is it a several years? May time frame po ba kayong nakikita?
So if your query pertains to determining the data based on our database, we use that information, ma'am. And then based on this list, we go back to the local and check the records and the supporting documents that they have submitted during the delayed registration process.
So yun na nga po, yung sinabi niyong 50,000 plus suspected fraudulent na birth certificates, kakayanin niyo ba in a year ma-vet kung talagang spurious sila or hindi naman sila spurious? Well, we hope to complete before the end of this year, ma'am, because we have also field officers that are on top of these instructions from our head.
That is very good to hear po kung susubukan nyo talaga iyon. Alright. And salamat din sa pagbibigay pansin ninyo na dapat hindi mapilay naman yung assistance nyo sa marginalized sectors na mga totoong Pilipino at nangangailangan ng assistance ng PSA para makapagrehistro. At tinatawag nga nila nitong isang NGO na ideals na yung birth certificate natin, ito yung passport sa buhay. So ganun siyang kahalaga. Lalo na sa mga hirap makakuha niyan. And then thank you for the yung sinabi nyo, amendment to Act 353. Did I get the number right?
3753,
Oh
ma'am.
my God, sorry. 3753. Okay. So dating pa pala to the 1930s, no?
Yes.
Parang yung ating revised penal code and yung mga iba pa. So we need to update all of these. Salamat po, Engineer Marisa.